just had a good meeting, I would think, with Erin Clemens, field representative for Speaker Boehner. She took a lot of notes. It was very clear that she's touched by the stories. What'll happen with the details of it, I don't know. Where it'll go policy-wise. But I thought it might be good for you to hear some of the things that we said.
Yes.
First of all, we said that this idea that we have to cut social programs now in order to have social programs later is nuts. We said it a little more elegantly than that. But we said it was a false choice. And that false choice is being promoted without a deep analysis of what actually is going on in our nation. That the deficit is a problem. We have to deal with the deficit. But the deficit was caused not by social programs. The deficit was caused by, for the first time in our history, waging 2 wars and not raising taxes to pay for them. Rather, we not only didn't raise taxes, we cut taxes. And that cutting taxes has put us in this deep hole that we need to responsibly address, because we are as responsible as our parents and grandparents who invested in this nation. We are as responsible, and we will care for the next generation. We got some next generation folks around here, I saw them earlier. But anyway, so that's what we're going to care about. We said that there was a way forward, and that is the faithful budget that was created by the Christian, Muslim, and Jewish communities in D.C. coming together, having fights, doing the hard work, working it out, but we created a faithful budget that reflects the needs based on faith principles of each of these Abrahamic traditions. There is a way forward. And the way forward, we told her, didn't we, in chorus? All right, we ready? Okay, in chorus. 1, 2, 3. Responsible revenue for... Now you got them backwards.
Responsible revenue,
Please.
responsible programs.
All right. It works either way. Well, what we really try to say is reasonable revenue for responsible programs. It's hard to get a good chorus, but it's all about raising revenue. So maybe we could quickly each take a turn and tell the story. We were trying to touch hearts. We believe that it's as much, probably more about touching hearts than talking percentages and details. If we don't touch hearts, we're not going to change minds. So what we did was try to touch hearts. Who wants to go first? Okay, Mary, go for it.
I'm Mary Wendland. I'm a sister of the Precious Blood from Dayton, Ohio. I live here in Cincinnati. I told him, wait till you get to Cincinnati. Wait till you get to Cincinnati.
And she was right.
And I was right. But anyway, I just want to preface this by, if any of you saw the editorial, one of the editorials in the Cincinnati Enquirer this morning, where a gentleman wrote, who had gone on a surgical trip to Haiti, who said, the poor touch our lives and give us more than we give to the poor. And that's what we've seen. We've seen in Cincinnati what's going on. Literacy programs, transitional housing, all the programs here in Cincinnati need more money. They need to keep the money they've got so that we don't have people on the street like we saw yesterday in this good city. Thank you so much for coming out. You're great.
I'm Sister Reg McKillop, and I work with Sisters of Mercy. And what I told the representative is that Mercy Neighborhood Center in Cincinnati does a wonderful job in providing education opportunities for people who are low income. But what I did say is that you can't educate those folks unless they have some basic. When you're worried about where you're going to sleep, how you're going to feed your children, how you're going to get through the next day, it's very difficult to sit down and try and learn phonics and math and whatever you need. So we said, don't cut those programs.
Amen.
Marge Clark. I'm a BBM, Sister of Charity of the Blessed Virgin Mary out of Dubuque, Iowa, but I work for Network in Washington, D.C. The story I focused on was a woman we met in Dubuque, Iowa, where I've actually lived for many years. But she's a young woman, about 19 years old, who has 2 children. She was poorly parented. She admits that. She was tossed around. They were moved from apartment to apartment because they kept losing their apartments. They couldn't pay the rent. And she went to one school, then another school, then another school. Her whole life was very upset. And so she didn't manage to do well in school. She has just finished, she's living in a housing center that is supported by the women religious congregations in Dubuque. And she is learning how to handle money. She is learning how to take care of a house. She's learning parenting skills. She's learned all kinds of things in addition to having finished her high school diploma this year. She's about now ready to move out into an independent apartment where she will still receive supportive services, but is dependent on things like food stamps, Medicaid for her children, housing assistance, the cash and the child care that comes from TANF. All those things are what are going to allow her, with her low-wage job, which she now has, to be able to live independently and move on.
Amen. Amen. And each of these stories is a public-private partnership. Each of these stories uses federal money, usually sent through the states or through departments of the agencies of the federal government, to make service happen. We sisters, we know, a bunch of us are here, we know we're great at loving and caring for people, but we need the private-public partnership to make real change happen in people's lives. That's why we say, if we get it right this time, right? Reasonable revenue for responsible programs. All right. That's our message to Congressman Boehner. It's our message to the world. It's our message to all of you. Spread it. We have got to have the political will. We're not bankrupt. We're not short of money. Our nation is the richest nation on earth. What we are short of is political will to make a change. Let's make a change.
Okay, I just wanted to say my name is Gene Salmon. I work for Network. I'm from Ohio, so we're depending on Ohio. Please be active.
Amen. Okay, the police tell us they have to move, so we're really grateful for your coming out. Thank you so much. Okay, T-shirts. T-shirts are fundraisers. They're buried in the bus. I'm so sorry. But you can get them online. Catholics United. CatholicsUnited.org. Okay, thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
I know.